So once you have your clarinet all assembled, let's just do a check to make sure that everything is put together correctly. So starting at the top, you want to make sure that your reed is correctly positioned on the mouthpiece, and to do that you can check, is there a good amount of space between the reed and the mouthpiece? Looks like it. You want to make sure that the ligature is facing you, is facing the correct way. You want to make sure that the reed is aligned with the thumb key and the thumb rest. And once you have everything assembled correctly, then you're good to go and you're good to start playing. So in this video, we will be talking about embouchure and producing a sound on the clarinet. So embouchure is the position of your mouth when playing the instrument, and a proper clarinet embouchure can be made by making something called a band face, which can be done by smiling with your teeth and then closing your lips over your smile. So you'll notice that the corners of my lips are kind of pulled in firm, and that the center of my lips are also firm. So when making your embouchure, you'll want to pull your bottom lip over your bottom teeth, and your reed and your mouthpiece will rest on your bottom lip. And your top teeth will rest on the top of the mouthpiece. So keeping everything in mind, your bottom lip will go over your bottom teeth, your mouthpiece, the reed will rest on your bottom lip, and your top teeth will rest on the top of the mouthpiece. And the corners of your mouth will be pulled firm around the mouthpiece. And a lot of the times when you're first practicing your embouchure, it is normal for your muscles in your face to get sore. So with producing sound on the clarinet, air is the most important thing to remember. So the way that you inhale and exhale when playing an instrument is different than how you do it normally every day, because it involves the use of your diaphragm, which is that muscle at the bottom of your lungs in your abdomen. So to make sure that you're breathing correctly, when inhaling, you want to place a hand on your abdomen and inhale, but inhale in a way that your abdomen expands, especially. So you want to take in a good breath, and don't just inhale into your chest up here, but you want to inhale into your abdomen, like so. And when exhaling, it's the same kind of thing. When exhaling, you want to also engage your diaphragm, and by doing so, you would kind of push out with your air. So again, with your hand on your abdomen, take a deep breath in, and then kind of push out the air using your abdomen more than you would use your chest cavity up here. It's also important to note playing posture. So when playing, you want to make sure that your shoulders are back, your chin is up, and your arms are in front of you. You also want to make sure that your feet are flat on the floor. So again, let's make the embouchure, and then take a deep inhale, making sure, and then take a deep inhale. So to make a sound on the clarinet, you're going to want to make your embouchure, again making sure that your bottom lip goes over your bottom teeth, your reed rests on your bottom lip, and your top teeth rest on the top of the reed. You want to take a deep inhale, making sure to engage your abdomen and your diaphragm, and then as you exhale, making sure to push out that air and vibrate that reed. When we breathe normally, we usually just take air through our nose or through our mouth, and it goes more in this part of our chest, and when we exhale, it kind of gets pushed out using the upper part of our chest. Whereas when you play an instrument, when you inhale, you kind of want to engage your abdomen, engage your diaphragm, and when you exhale, you kind of want to use your diaphragm to push it out. So breathing when playing an instrument is kind of like laughing in a way, as it engages your diaphragm. So instead of breathing like, you breathe like, so when you practice breathing like that, you can really feel your diaphragm. A lot of the times when playing clarinet, it's common to squeak, and that is often due to an issue with your embouchure, with your air supply, with the reed, or with the way that the clarinet was assembled. And it's usually most likely your reed or your embouchure. So you want to make sure that your reed is properly moistened, it's properly assembled onto the mouthpiece. You also want to make sure that your clarinet is tightly put together. There's no gaps or leaks or anything in between any of the joints. And you want to make sure that your embouchure is firm and that your corners of your mouth are tight around the mouthpiece. So most woodwind instruments will have the left hand on top and the right hand on the bottom. With clarinet, you want to make sure that your hands have a relaxed position to them. So you want to kind of just take your hand and just let it drop into its natural position, and that is the position that you want to utilize when playing. So first you want to have your thumb hovering or pressing onto the thumb key, and you'll want to then place your index finger on this key here, your middle finger on this key right here, and then your ring finger on this little hole right here. And you don't have to worry about pinkies for now. Now for your right hand, the knuckle of your thumb should rest right underneath that thumb rest there. And then again, just let your hand naturally fall to that position, and your index finger will go on this key, your middle finger will rest on this key, and your ring finger will, and then your ring finger will rest on this key. So that is the proper hand position for clarinet. When playing clarinet, the bell should rest between your knees, and the clarinet should sit at a slight angle from your body. You don't want it to be straight down, but you don't want it to be too high up, as that will affect your sound. So to practice your embouchure and to practice making sound on the clarinet, it's easiest to just hold out that open G, making sure to pay attention to your embouchure, your breathing, your exhaling, your inhaling, just how you feel when playing the instrument. So I'm going to play a few open Gs. I'm going to be paying attention to my embouchure, my hand placement, and my breathing. So again, I'm going to just practice taking a few deep breaths, engaging my diaphragm first before I make any sound. And a lot of the times it's common to get lightheaded when first learning how to play woodwind instruments. That can be fixed by paying attention to how you're letting that air out. A lot of the times if you're letting out the air, by squeezing out your throat, it's easy to get lightheaded, but you want to make sure that you kind of just have like a clear path for the air to come out. You don't want to try to control it or constrict it using your throat. So just practice that breathing and the embouchure, and you should be all set with producing sound on the clarinet.